Okay, USA.
Okay, USA. I know it's America's birthday. That's right. When I say America, I'm meaning North America. Trim it down a little bit. United States of America's birthday. There we go. There we go. Uh, I know everybody across the globe gets irritated when we say America, but there's North America, there's Central America, there's South America, all that stuff. You get it. You get it. Jeez. But then if somebody says, goddamn Americans, they know exactly who they're talking about. Nobody says that about South America. They don't. Nobody says that about Canadians. No, they don't. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great day. Hopefully you have a safe holiday week and weekend. It's kind of nice. 4th of July's, on the weekend. So you can get liquored up if that's your thing. Guys, we got an amazing show coming your way. Cannot wait to dive into it. We're going to talk a little bit about LeBron James. Where the heck's he going? Plus some crazy, funny stories from across the globe. Let's just do it. Let's have some fun. Let's get into those headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
Well, an Oregon card shop was holding a tournament. I got to be honest. I've never heard of this. I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. Probably nailed it. But anyway, they had to stop it. They had to stop it and reschedule it because of an issue that they were having with its players. Apparently, there was a bunch of complaints and terrible reviews pouring in because of the smell of the players. The players smelled so bad from body odor and God knows what else that when people would walk into the venue, they would essentially get nauseous and have to leave. That's pretty freaking bad, guys. I have some audio of the incident as people were walking in and they were describing the smell.
Smells like Bigfoot's dick.
Oh, yeah. Bigfoot's dick smells like nerds who haven't taken a shower in like a month, apparently. Part of me is like, I feel bad for the guys because let's be honest, it's mostly guys that are in this that stink. Okay, there's probably some ladies too that they're like, I don't give a shit. I don't need to shower. I'm being like, yeah, you do. Everybody needs to shower. But there's some people that have allergies to deodorant. I get that. That's a real thing. Okay. Apparently, Brad Pitt is somebody that allegedly, the longtime Hollywood rumor is that he doesn't use deodorant or something like that. I don't know. Don't know if it's true. Never met the fella. Okay. But here's the thing. I get that some people just smell. Some people have disorders too. But some people just choose not to use deodorant. And some people choose not to wash themselves. And they stink. And here's the thing. Sometimes nobody tells them this. I used to work with a guy that smelled so bad. And we told him, we're like, dude, you stink really bad. So bad that we have to switch out the chair every time your shift is over because we all shared the same chair, right? And my boss wouldn't do anything about it. We told him, be like, hey, what the chair stinks so bad to the point where as soon as I go home from work, keep in mind I was working at a radio station, I had to change my clothes and start the wash immediately. I used to have that issue when I worked at restaurants where you work a shift and you have to throw them in the washer immediately because of, food smells and soap and water and stuff like that, sweat, right? That makes sense. But you shouldn't have to do that because somebody stinks so bad. My boss did nothing. His one solution to the problem was he put a trash bag over the chair. I'm like, dude, no. Come on. And finally, once this guy started dating a girl, he started bathing more often. So, but he didn't care when we addressed it to him. what I'm saying is going back to the original story of these nerds playing a tournament and they smell so bad. I don't know if anybody, or at least the right people, are telling them that they stink. Put a bunch of hot chicks in there and have them start flirting with, it'd probably be hot chicks with that have like no sense of smell. I don't know if that's a long list of ladies out there that have no sense of smell, but those are the ones that need to be going in there because they can go in there and pretend they can smell, and they can go, hey, you know what? Maybe we grab dinner sometime or lunch, go to Taco John's or whatever, and uh, you know, maybe shower up, and maybe they could be sponsored by Old Spice or something, like, and get them. Essentially, what I'm saying is convince the fellas that they need to clean themselves up, and the only way that these ladies are going to have any sort of a glimmer of interest in them is if they actually take care of their body and have hygiene, good hygiene. I'm just saying, ladies, I'm pointing the finger at you. This is all on you. The stank's on your hands. How embarrassing would that be, by the way, if you're one of those individuals that gave two shits about smelling good, and then they're like, if you're receiving this letter, it's because the tournament was canceled or rescheduled because you smell like shit. Terrible. But wouldn't that like shock you to your core and be like, oh fuck, I guess I need to use soap and water. That happened to me when I was in ninth grade Spanish class. I apparently took a shower in the morning and I didn't, I applied the deodorant way too soon and my armpits weren't dry yet. So I applied deodorant. It was like a not a gel, but you know what I mean? Like kind of like it's not antiperspirant, whatever it is, the clear stuff ish. So I put that on, but it didn't stick to my underarms because of the water. And by the time I'm in sixth period, something like that, I smelled terribly, terribly, to the point where there's individuals talking about who stinks in this class. Who could it be? And keep in mind, one of those persons was a chick that I had a major crush on. And there I hear, I think it's Scott. I think it's Scott. He stinks. He smells like a Subway trash can, right? You know what I mean? And then I just left. I left school the rest of the day. And I think I skipped just one more class and went home and immediately showered. And I remember that every single fucking day when I put on deodorant, that is the last thing I do because I want to make sure my armpits are dry. What I'm saying is somebody needs to tell them, and it has to be the right people, that you guys stink. Because getting a letter, embarrassment is a great teacher. It sucks in the moment, but it will be totally worth it. Ladies, this is on you. If you see a fella that smells and if you're not coworkers, because nowadays you probably get in trouble. Oh, I'm filing a complaint with HR. She said I smelled. Well, you do fucking smell, dude. Yeah, but she said I smelled like a buffalo's anus. You do smell like a buffalo's. I could never be in HR. I think we just came to that realization. Because I'd be like, she's telling the fucking truth. Anyway, by the way, was anybody really surprised by this headline? It's a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, card shop had to be suspended because of complaints over poor hygiene. Nobody's like, whoa, did not see that coming. Holy cow. Wow. Nerds that smell and refused, essentially gamers that don't bother to bathe. Did not see that coming. Did not see that coming. And they smell like Bigfoot's wiener? Oh my God. Hey, speaking of Bigfoot, I put this in there because of that story. Bigfoot, according to this one alleged Bigfoot expert, is a Neanderthal-Human hybrid. because he claims that he found remains of one. Oh. Now, when I read the article, he had not sent the remains to be studied by a legit, laboratory, not like sending it to a major university. Be like, hey, can you study this? See what you can come up with. This is where I found it. I have evidence of where I found it. No. Independent laboratory. Come on, man. You can't do that. Here's of all the shit out there, whether it's aliens, ghosts, demons, shit like that, I'm more likely to believe in those things than I am in Bigfoot. Bigfoot just seems so far-fetched because there's zero evidence. It's always these grainy bullshit videos that look like some dickhead in a costume walking by, be like, ooh, watch out. Man, this thing's hot. Hurry up, Todd. God damn. You done recording? Yeah, I am. Right? And listen, I can appreciate the people that are like, okay, there's no official evidence of that. Okay, then what's their explanation? A lot of it is portals. People believe that there's portals or somehow it is an entity that has the ability for cloaking. Okay, if I'm going to go down that rabbit hole, sure, I guess that's a possibility. I guess. But you can't dig up Neanderthal bones and go, that's a Bigfoot right there. No, that's a Neanderthal. Right? You know what I'm saying? Come on. Oh, sorry. It's just amazing to me that there's all these alleged witnesses, but as far as actual evidence, you got jack shit. Jack shit. Oh, I got this video from, 500 yards away. Look at it. Oh, it's taking a shit in the woods. Oh, that's beautiful evidence. Is it? No, it's not. It's not. The only thing we know for sure about Bigfoot,
Smells like Bigfoot's dick.
Oh.
bro has a stinky wiener. He does. I swear to gosh. Everybody knows that about Bigfoot. He got a stinky wiener. Oh, goodness.
Am I all balls?
Joel Klatt, thank you for chiming in on the show, but no, you are not all balls. Will Ferrell, though, is Will Ferrell, the legendary comedian, which I love. The majority of the shit that I see him in, hilarious. The new show he's in, I have no interest in because it has to do with golf, and I'm not a golf fan. But anyway, he teamed up, and to be honest, it's a cross promotion with Lonnie the Hawk. That's his golf show. It's a series that he's going to be in on Netflix. He teamed up with Kim Kardashian, Big Booty Kim, and her Skims clothing brand. And he did a hilarious photo shoot. And there's also a video of him on the driving range in just the underwear, the Skims for men, taking a swing at a few balls and stuff like that. And it's hilarious. That's, he's promoting his new show, and he does his classic, funny poses, like he's trying to be provocative, and he's with his golf club, and he's only wearing his underwear and whatnot. It's funny. It's Will Ferrell not giving two shits about what anybody thinks, and just going for the gold with his outrageousness. I think it's funny. But again, I have no interest in buying those underwear, Skims for men. No desire. And I have no desire to watch Lonnie the Hawk. Unless I find out it's just hilarious beyond belief, and if it's just making fun of golfers in general and how big of a wuss a lot of them are. He's talking. He's like, 200 yards away. I know, but I can hear him. Golfers are such babies. Not all of them, but like 99% of them. Okay? Maybe not you. right? Not you. Everybody else. They're the pussies. I don't know. I think it's funny that there's so many people that hate Will Ferrell. I think he's God's not God's gift. He's a gift to comedy. And when you tune into his movies, you can expect the same thing. He's essentially the same character, and it's gonna be not serious slash funny, kind of like Dwayne Johnson. You're not tuning in to see Dwayne Johnson with phenomenal acting. You're just seeing some great action, right? When you can set that aside or isolate that, you realize, okay, that's worth tuning into. If you can accept what you're getting, Will Ferrell, it's going to be not serious, funny stuff. Dwayne Johnson, it's going to be action, and I'm fine with that. Not great acting. He's again same character. If somebody wanted to pay me $1 million to play a character over and over and over again, I would do it. Would you not? Don't act like you wouldn't. No, I'm an artiste. I want to go out there and show everybody what I got. Unless they start cutting me big ass checks. Right? Come on. I bag on Dwayne Johnson because with the exception of Smashing Machine and I want to say like a few others like Central Intelligence with him and Kevin Hart, I feel like he did a good job in that one. Dwayne Johnson did because he kind of plays two. When you really watch it, he morphs his character, and I thought he did a good job with it. Is it award winning? I don't think so, but I thought he did a good job. And then Smashing Machine, I haven't seen it. Don't know if I will. Not a fan of dramas, but the thing is he doesn't need to do that. He proved that I get from everything I've heard in regards to Smashing Machine, he proved that he can act better than he already did. And he can go beyond what he was. So I don't know. I bag on him, but I can respect it. Same thing with Will Ferrell. If you hate his guts, that's fine. But you got to at least take a step back and respect what he does. And what he's doing now is posing with not with Kim Kardashian, but for Kim Kardashian. So good for him. There's a Mexican Batman, a vigilante, that is wanted for chasing down suspected thieves and taping them to lampposts. So literally, the vigilante is wanted by police now. And the guys that he's taping up, the criminals, are considered the victims right now. Apparently a lot of them were I guess the Mexican Batman would like draw like mustaches, cat whiskers, and write ratero, which I think that's how you pronounce it, is the Spanish word for thief. He'd write that on their faces, and obviously like duct tape them to the light poles, and the guys would be beaten up, bloody faces, cuts, courtesy of the Mexican Batman. I know you're not supposed to support vigilantes, but I mean it's kind of cool. It kind of is. I want to know, does the guy dress up? Because that would be cool, and it would be neat if he had like a Mexican themed logo and bat suit. Oh my god, be fantastic. I was gonna do a interview with the Mexican Batman, but not everybody would appreciate it. It would essentially be me going, are you the one responsible for taping these criminals and writing stuff on their face? Yes. It was essentially like that. But you know how people are, they get offended. They do these days. So instead, I was going to do it as an Irish, because the Irish tend to be, they don't give two shits. Also, they're drunk most of the time, so they really don't care. You know what I'm saying? There's an Irish guy listening, and he's like, yeah, that's right, that's Scotty. Oh, well, that's more Scottish. Scottish. I can't tell the difference, really. Aren't you the one responsible for taping these criminals and writing Retero on them? Oh, fuck yeah. After I be eating me Lucky Charms, I go out there and whoop some ass. And I put my motivational tape from Conor McGregor on, and then I go whoop it. Okay. That's all I got. I don't want to go any further because then I'm gonna be in trouble. Because if I did do that, if I did do the whole, Mexican Batman interview, people would be, writing me letters at DeHuff Podcast on social or emails DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com, and it would essentially say,
You son of a bitch.
right? And everybody be mad and I'd get canceled. Okay. Oh, speaking of racist, Jesus Christ, I posted that video of I was kind of giving some commentary on Caitlin Clark getting that fist allegedly to the throat. She got fisted in the throat and during a game and all this stuff. And I gave my kind of 2 cents on it. I was like, is it over aggressive? Because when you watch the full video in full speed, I guess I can kind of see how people are saying like, oh, this is absurd. The lady that did this, she should be fined and kicked out. Well, she did get suspended for like a game, which isn't that much. If you're gonna do it for like say 3 games. Well, whatever. But anyway, I posted it on my Facebook page, and ultimately, real quick, what I came down to is it over the line or is it just aggressive basketball? Because the more I read from people and the more I watch it, like you see this shit all the time in sports. All the fucking time. So I'm like, I feel like it's aggressive basketball. Should she have had her fist closed? Probably not. And everybody's like, nope, nope, nope. If she's trying to support herself off the ground, her hand would be open. Okay. Most likely, yes. But we don't need to go. Here, going back to my point is I had to block, I want to say like 30 people for being racist on my Facebook page and report them all. Jesus Christ, guys. Can we not have a conversation, a healthy debate? Fucking bunch of racist dicks out there. You forget about it. Me, I forget about it because I don't live in that world. And then all of a sudden I post something innocently and then I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, shit. And by the way, every time I report you, I have to look at your profile page or your Facebook page. And the majority of those individuals claim that they're a great human being. God, your family would be disappointed with you, hopefully, with the shit that pours out of some people's mouth. But anyway, fucking annoying. What's annoying, too, is LeBron James is still in the NBA. I know. He's 41. He's going to be 42 in December. Here, as much as I bag on LeBron James, he's still top 5 player physically right now. And he's that old. He's not in his prime anymore, but he's still really freaking good. And he said that he's done with the Lakers. He's moving on. And now the big question is, where does he go next? There's a lot of speculation. It's going to be the Cavaliers. It's going to be the Miami Heat. I've heard the Denver Nuggets. I don't see that one happening. Don't know if that would make sense either. I'd be kind of upset if the Nuggets went with LeBron James. I just don't think that he's a proper piece to add. Because here's the thing. Don't you think that whoever signs him is a LeBron James away from a championship team? Don't you think that's who's going to sign him? And if you look at it, who's that team? I say, if I was going to put money on it, Golden State Warriors. I would not be surprised if LeBron James plays for Golden State. It makes sense. They're very close to being a championship-worthy team. So whatever team signs LeBron, that's what they're looking at. On paper, they're going to go, if we added LeBron James to this roster, now we're definite contenders for the championship. And I don't see the Denver Nuggets being that. They got a lot of other issues that they need to work on. So you guys tell me, where do you think he ends up? But to me, that's where my money would go. Speaking of going places, let's go into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
James wrote in, he must have big balls to come out and say he has the smallest dick on the planet. He's talking about that dude that apparently has the record for smallest penis. And hold on, I'm gonna search diameter because I have this and I forgot the diameter of. Oh, you'll see what I'm saying. In inches. In inches. Okay. Here we go. Okay. The reason, oh my God, that's insane. Okay. What am I talking about? So he says he has this guy says he has the smallest dick on the planet. And apparently there's a record for that. I don't know if I don't think that's Guinness. Okay. So I'm like, how big or how small is it? And I feel bad laughing, but here I am. Okay. What do you think how big do you think it is? Or how small do you think it is? Wrong. 0.38 inches. I know. Doesn't that make you feel good, fellas? It does. So I looked it up and I was like, what other, because in the article I read, it's like it's the same length as a garden pea. I'm like, well, what does a garden pea look like? And I'm trying to do it, and it's like the United States quarter is exactly 0.955 inches in diameter. A bottle cap is the same size as that. You could have like a a pearl snap button. But then I was like, wait a minute. This is what I was just searching. How big is a dime? The diameter of a dime. It's 0.705. It's smaller than that, guys. Holy shit. Now, here's what's wild. Because this guy's everywhere. He's like begging and pleading. Can somebody help me with my baby dick? That's like worse than a baby dick, okay? But he's been making his rounds, saying that somebody needs to help him. A doctor in Beverly Hills is offering to, quote unquote, bulk him up for free, which is normally about a $20,000 procedure, assuming it's possible. I don't know if they have done an actual exam on the fella yet to see if it's going to work. But holy shit. Isn't that's my pinky fingernail. That's the fingernail, not the pinky finger, fingernail. That's wild. I hate to make fun of somebody, but holy shit, that's crazy. I feel bad. I mean, he's gonna. Do you think? I'm curious of what his dating life is. His mental status has got to be just fucked up, right? Because you'd be so insecure. You could never get intimate, right? I was going to say he's basically a lesbian, but I didn't, okay? I didn't say that. But imagine if you're getting physical with somebody and you're attracted to men, whether you're a man or a woman, and and it gets to that point and you look at that and you're like, what? What am I? This is insane. That's crazy. I hope, listen, all joking aside, I hope that they're able to fix him and give him some girth, right? Give them some length, some width, all that good stuff, because that's got to be devastating. What's going to be annoying though is if they're like they put like a fucking baby arm essentially down there, right? Then you're going to be like, really? You gave him that big of one? And watch, he turns around and he's like just overconfident asshole after that, right? He's like, I'm swinging, I'm knocking things over in my apartment because it's so big type of thing. Like, fuck off. Yeah, I get really confused sometimes when I, go to a hot dog stand or, Subway. If somebody yells,
Who's got the football?
I automatically think they're talking about me. It's like, shut up, dick. But honestly, I hope he does. I hope he does get something. But I feel like that's a lot of material that's missing. Unless you get a cadaver dick. Is that a thing? Can you get a cadaver dick and put it on him? Oh, that's wild to think about. Any porn stars that have passed away recently? Because this guy might, want that. I'm just saying. Just saying. Poor guy. Let's ask our resident scientist. Do you think this is possible for him to get a cadaver dick and end up being a somewhat normal, endowed human being?
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
Answer the question, Neil. Will he have a fully functioning, proper-sized penis?
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
Oh, okay. You said it right there. I guess so. I guess we all learned something today. Thanks, Neil. Really do appreciate it. That's so wild. Poor guy. It's funny too because I was watching this. I follow these guys on Facebook and stuff. They're from Australia, I believe. Their company name or their parody account is Cracker Milk. And sometimes they do jokes that are a little too over the line. But there's one where the guy's in the doctor's office and the doctor is reading the clipboard and he's all, well, hate to say it, but, or he's all, no, he goes, well, you have the largest, he's talking to a guy. He's like, you have the largest clitoris I've ever seen in a woman. And the guy's like, but I'm a man. And he's like, oh. You have the smallest penis I've ever seen in a man. It's just so funny. But that's kind of like this. Kind of. But worse. My goodness. That's like, let's be honest. That's super disappointing. Like if you're attracted to that individual and you're like, but no. Is it? Huh? Let me get my glasses. My gosh. It just makes me feel good. At the end of the day, this makes me feel good about myself, okay? Hey, at least I'm not there. Not there. I might not be on the other end of the spectrum, but I'm not on that side. Not that one. Oh, my goodness gracious. Anyway, that's how we're going to end the show. You're welcome. You're welcome. Guys, if you want to interact with the show like James did, go ahead, hit me up on socials at DeHuff Podcast. You can always direct message me. That's what James did. Makes it easy. But you can also email me, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com. Really do appreciate it if you're able, but I understand if you can't. That's okay. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're on Spotify, you can listen or watch, depending what you're vibing at the time. Really do appreciate you guys. Have a safe 4th of July weekend. Don't do anything dumb. Hopefully, when you hear the next episode of this show, you have all of your digits, okay? All of them. And they're all fully intact. Because it's 4th of July and people get dumb, liquored up, and then they're like, what happens if I hold on to this M80? Oh my God, my fingers! Right? That's what always happens. Anyway, you guys have an amazing day. Really do appreciate you. Hopefully you laughed a little bit in this episode. Don't be a vigilante, okay? Because people don't like it. Okay. Although it's kind of interesting and cool. All right. It's the Huff Uncensored. Let's keep moving forward. I'll talk to you next time.